We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football.
I got something for you.
Set to match up with the Houston Texans.
Knock off the top.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for.
You're in my division too. I got to teach you a lesson.
15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Set, 20, 65, 65, 65, under 10, under alert, check 37.
Here's a guy on his fourth franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Check 50, check 50.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Check hot route. Hot. He goes to you. He comes to me. 54. Hey, check 24.
Back to the ground. This time it's high. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Watson now to throw. It's coming and down he goes. Emmanuel Agba.
Done.
In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago. It's Derrick Henry. And strong running there gets this over the 15-yard line. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham. From the 16, Tannehill. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Tannehill throwing complete to Davis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant. 55. Hey, here we go. 5.
This is Dion Lewis now in his 9th NFL season. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd and a couple, Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ready up. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. You draw Corker. Ready.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry.
Baby.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Let's go now. 10 Lobo. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Get it.
Tannehill on first down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Crunch. Check. Go.
On 2nd down, it's Lewis. Lewis has the first down and then some. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
3 people.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Derrick Henry, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give Henry another shot, and he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
This motherfucker banging, man.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
Let's get off the field, D. I'll go. Mike 41. I've got to win.
After the penalty, it's Henry. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And caught by Henry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's get off the field.
Here's Watson. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
All day, just like that. Just like that. Check the 55. Hey, switch gears. Check. Lucky. Motion, bump.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson, it's complete to Fuller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
I'm ready. Recon, 132 fighter.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Here we go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. On second down now, it's Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready? 8-3. Topper. You better be ready. Ready.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. The open man is Smith. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is Henry, and he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Titans are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
It gets this one to Johnson. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing again on second down. Watson, and Stills bringing it in. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. 59. 36. Sponge. 59. Check 43. Cloud.
On first down, it's Watson.
Look at this. I just been throwing interceptions like
the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Our offense is terrible.
You ready? Fair.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
61, matchbox lights.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle.
On the ball, go.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Henry running right.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first, this one from 38. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway.
Throwing interceptions left and right.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready, break.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Let's go now. 15, Lonnie. 15 line.
I got you, boy.
Now Lewis here on first down. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
40 wants the mic. Yeah.
From the 39, Tannehill.
Oh, come on. What was that?
And
Merciless?
this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down
Bum?
at the 31-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Got it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Henry. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Tannehill going for it all. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. Corey Davis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half, Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Watch the twist.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he'll lose yardage.
Hey, I can go for it, can
I? A 3-yard loss.
Can I go for it?
Now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
54 down, he's coming.
Check 26, check 29. He's checking. Crash.
26.
52. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
They're going for it. It's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run on 1st down. Miller. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 59.
Mike 52.
On 2nd down and 4. Watson underneath for Johnson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Check 13. Hey, 24.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Hey, 55. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Switch it. Come on,
24.
Jam. Watch the edge. Big edge. Go.
Again, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Look, squeeze. Let's go.
They'll run it again with Henry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter.
Hey, exit. Ready?
From the 50, it's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Brett Kern now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Oh, they can see me on there?
Yeah, they can see me.
Oh, I'm good.
Huh?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Watson on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And
come on, baby!
Incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
He's coming. We got double up. We got it. Check it back.
24. 24. Go.
Throwing again is Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And they are going to set up shop at the 40.
Man,
As I say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
41 Mike. 42 draw Corson. 2.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill.
Look at
Completes it to Davis. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Throw it right through him.
After the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Come on, set. AT Gator.
Army.
Yep. Hit it.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And Henry's
Give me
hit. He
something,
lost the
baby.
football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. It's complete. Stills. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 36 yards on the play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Watch out. Set it.
Alert.
Another try after the first down sack.
Man, get out of here.
Kind of threw everything off. It brings up
I
third.
couldn't get nothing.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins.
Look at
The
this.
ball's out, fumbled near midfield. It's picked up by the Titans.
Man, I can't do nothing about
Down to
this.
the 45-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example. I mean, talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
31. 552, 552. Let's go. Check 54. Check 3. Tighten up, tighten up. 54. Check, 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 check.
Throwing again. Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
From the 50, it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
By curtain.
3rd and long, it's Watson.
Man, what is going on?
And he goes down once more. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Yes, it is, baby. Had to just give him one.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.
Hey, 31. Check, 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 check. Hey, alert. Twist. Check 9, check 9. Back. Another touchdown.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he's going to go down again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position.
Ready. X3. 218. Chop it. I got it. 5.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Henry. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Titans, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charlie.